We've been having the Arts Festival for probably 6 or 7 years at the museum. And we've sort of joined with the Chamber, the Tourism Committee, and the Historical Society. And we've added some things. We added reenactments. We've had the Battle of the Lower Bridge was the first one. Last year we had the Battle of Kingstree. And this year we had just the reenactors camp out here at Thorntree House and do some demonstrations today. We had to change our name because it seems that somebody else had this Come See Me weekend patented upstate, so we changed it to Heritage Homes and Horses, and we feel like that pretty much encompasses the history of this area. With the Lansing this afternoon, and that takes care of the horses. This takes care of the houses. And there's so much history in this area, we like to promote it. This comes about through the Tourism Committee, the Chamber of Commerce, Hometown Chamber, and the Williamsburg Historical Society. And we'll start planning this shortly after this event is over. We'll plan for next year. Most of these reenactors set their calendars at least a year ahead, so we have to get on their calendars. And we want to get on their calendar and be sure that we've got a date that'll suit everybody. I'm the director of the museum here in Kingstree, and we're located in the old Carnegie Library building, and we have purchased the building beside us as an annex. I was on the Historical Society board for a long time and used to work at the Chamber of Commerce, and decided this is kind of what I love to do, so we have a lot of visitors. You'd be surprised the people that come here from all over the United States that have connections here. Today we have some people from, I believe they're from Gallivant's Ferry, and they make homemade soap and candles. Also, he is a blacksmith, and he has things that he's made, spoons and forks and pans and things that they have for sale, and they'll demonstrate and show you how they do this. I have another man who is a gun maker. He and his wife come from Plantersville, and they travel all over. She's cooking and showing the children the food that they ate and how they did that, you know, how they build the fire and cook over the pots, and how their tents are made up where they sleep. We have the fellow with the cannon, Matt Vincent, is from North Carolina, and I think he's a forester by trade, but he loves this, and he's dressed in very colorful garb, and he brings his cannon with him, and he gives demonstrations and explains how they use all the procedure they'd have to do to shoot the cannons. And so he explains all of that to the children and adults.
The person's arm, whoever's loading it, in the 18th century, the artillery were your skilled troops. They could read, write, and do math, and that is very educated for the 18th century, to be able to read, write, and do math. Because they had to be able to calculate range, trajectory, distances, volumes, and such. And so they were very expensive. We didn't want to blow off artillerymen's arms. Very expensive to train for them. So, advance fun, turn bent, and we're going to slide that down the barrel and make sure there's no more embers left in the barrel. Okay, now we're ready to load it. Now if you notice, we have a box back here. This is where the powder or shot fixed to powder would be. Powder would be just in bags, and then they'd run it forward and just put shot with it, or we'd have shot already tied to the powder. The reason why it's back here, that one's empty, so we left it up there, is if this thing blows up, all we use is well, in this case it's her, it's no great loss at all, but we just lose the one person back here. We're short on cooks, so she's helping out. But we just lose one person instead of the gun. That's why they moved back. If both of them had powder in them, they'd both be back here. So at this point, we've got a hail cartridge. And she'll run forward, or the troop will run forward if it was a troop. Pass the bag on and run back, get ready to handle the next one. Up on the load cartridge, it's a muzzle loader, sticking the bag of powder in the end of the barrel. Now we got a rammer, hold the rammer up again. It's a muzzle loader again, we got to ram that powder and that shot down the barrel. Advance ram cartridge. Now we got the powder and the ball or shot in the barrel, but now it gets in the bag, so we got to poke a hole in that bag and then we got to prime it. So the next man's going to pick and prime. He's got a large pick, he's going to pick a hole in that bag and then he's going to prime it. In this case we're going to use paper tube, simulating the tin tubes they used sometimes back then. Okay, once he's done that, it's primed and loaded. The elevation is adjusted. If it's not already sighted, all the time the gunner would be sighting it in, getting it ready. Here's his elevation, using his wedge. And here's his lead. Once he's satisfied, go back. Ready? Fire! Okay. Now we're gonna actually shoot a blank. So if you're sensitive to loud noises, small pets or small children or anything, they'll just be aware it's gonna make a bit of a boom. Okay. All right, ready? Advance fire! Search piece! Advance one! Stand back! First piece! Handle cartridge! Let's go! Load cartridge! Advance ram cartridge! Pick and prime! Ready? Fire!
I think the children love to see, especially shooting off the cannon is very exciting for them, and they get to learn how it comes about. Most of these reenactors, they do this part-time, but they love what they do, and they're good at demonstrations. They cook, and they can really show the children how things were many, many years ago. This is a historic house. It was built by James Witherspoon in 1749, and it was located about 12 miles on the edge of town and moved into town in the 70s, owned by the Historical Society, and we maintain this property, and it was just the perfect setting to have the Revolutionary reenactors. They've been having lancing tournaments for quite a while with Pig Picking Festival and other occasions in town. The Cedar Swamp Lancers are possibly, maybe the only group left that does that, even in the United States. This has been going on for many years, and they're colorful costumes. They're just a very unique group. Well, I think the most fun we've had, and the thing most people remember, was were the battles that we've had. The first one was the Battle of the Lower Bridge that was down in Salters, and we were able to close the highway and they could shoot across the river just exactly in the spot where the battle took place. And the people in Salters really loved having them. They camped out behind the country store, Cooper's Country Store, and the whole community was just very open to it. Last year we had the Battle of Kingstree in the park in the middle of town, and we had supper out there, and people just kind of wandered by, walked by with their children and their dogs, and we had a good time. I'm thinking we may go back and have another battle next year. I think that seems to bring out more people. They love to have that excitement. We've tried to do each battle that took place in Williamsburg County, but some of them were way in the swamp that we couldn't possibly get there. We may do that. We also would like to capitalize on Black River. That's something that we have that is so important, and we're going to try and work on something that we can incorporate that. But our artists and craftspeople know that it'll be coming up, and we have a long list that we send out letters months ahead of time to let them know when that will be. So we hope they'll continue to be with us. I'm not sure when it'll be yet. We were asked to have it this particular week because of activities going on in Lake City, and so that there would be a lot going on in the area. And we also had Pig Picking Festival in October, so we try to kind of spread it out. So it'll probably be sometime next spring. They say that if we don't learn from the past, we're bound to repeat it. But I just think we just have so much history that I know when I was in school, history was boring. But if you can get out and go to the places and be in the actual sites, I think you can make it more interesting for children. And there's so many places right around here that you can take them where history actually took place.